Hello, hello. So bear with me. It's been a crazy week and I forgot to retype my notes. I always like to retype my notes. So I entitled this Closing the Sale and Follow-Ups, but I'm going to talk a little bit about selling. This is such an issue because everybody has an issue with selling. Selling it's a hard topic because honestly, if you're not doing attraction marketing, which is what we talked about before, and if you're not kind of doing all of the little follow-up steps leading up to it, there's no real tips that I can give you that'll make you sell more. You know, some people are better at selling, some people are better at recruiting, some people do good at both. It's hard. I mean, you know, selling a product is hard. You've got to find your audience. And I think that's why finding your audience is such a big thing. If you find that you are not selling repeatedly, then you may need to reconsider what you're selling, right? You need to sell something that is replenishable. So that means that people use up and need again or collect. You know, if you're selling something that somebody buys once and they're kind of done with it, it's hard, but you need to build that friends list. You need to get on the groups. You need to do everything we talked about. You know, this is slowly kind of building up to selling. So I'm just trying to see my notes. So this was closing the sale. So this is somebody that commented on one of your attraction marketing, or you had a conversation about a product, but you find you're just not getting that closing. You're not selling to them. So message anyone who comments on your posts separately. So you need to private message them. Some people will come with, well, why do you have to private message me to tell me about it? I always write, well, it's easier to tell you. But if they're like, well, I just want to know, then you just write that company, right? If that's all they want to know, because they're not going to buy from you. They just want to be picky. I mean, they might, but they just want to be picky and pick at you, right? And then you might consider getting rid of them because you don't need somebody on your Facebook like that. If it's on a direct sales group, then just ignore them. So, but you should be messaging people privately because that's how you're going to know their needs, and that's how you're going to be able to discover if they're really interested in the product. I always add them as a friend. It's up to them if they add you or not, but you'll never probably get, why are you adding me? Because they commented. And I always say, well, I like to keep in touch with people, you know, thought we could become friends. Add them to Messenger. So you have to do 2 different steps because that way your messages will come up through immediately. If they're not added into your Messenger, you're going to go in your other folder and they're probably not going to see it. Voice message them. Everybody likes to hear the person that is selling them the products. They want to see that you're real. They want to see that you're a human and it's not a scam and their money is not going to be taken. So the little blurb that I had written down, see this, my handwriting is in really light ink too. Smart, I know. You could say, hi, Vanessa, thanks for commenting on my post. I'm going to send you more information about the product. Use their name. This way the person is more comfortable with you and they aren't so worried that you're a scammer. So, you know, and then you can go ahead and send however you send the information about the product. It could be a blurb, it could be a video, it could be pictures, however it is, you know, you can keep it consistent. Don't send your link right away unless they ask. They also say don't tell them price if it's a big price unless it's a voicemail because you want to sound excited. So for example, if they're asking about, a health wellness program or health and wellness thing that's going to cost about $200, you can be like, thanks, Vanessa. The cost of the product is $200. You get 4 amazing products for that price. And let me tell you, girl, it's great. You know, like you want to downplay the fact that you know, if you think it's expensive, they will think it's expensive, right? You need to make sure that you think that your product is worth that quality. So you have to be very careful about that. This is something that I had learned in my other company and it had worked really well. You can offer to do everything for them. So if they're interested in a product and they're willing, hold on, sorry, I just got to shift. and they're willing to give you the information. You can either just set up the account for them and let them go buy, or you can actually place the order. I find if you're placing the order, you know, you're going to find out if they're really interested, because you're going to be like, I take, you know, you can tell them the price and then you say, I take payment via PayPal, bank transfer, or credit card, and all I need is your mailing address and email. I'll send you the tracking information. The reason why you don't give them the link is because most people will look at the shipping price and be like, not really worth it. Or they'll talk themselves out of it before they buy, or they'll forget, right? So if you can go ahead and do everything for them, then it alleviates some of that. What do I have written here? It alleviates some of that worry from them. Not everybody is going to want to do that. Don't instantly be like, "Can I have your credit card?" Be like, "Hey, Vanessa, the Lean Body System is $159.99. You get 3 amazing products with that. They're amazing. They flush your body out of toxins. If you would like, I can do your order, and I take PayPal, email transfer, and credit cards. We can do it over the phone. We can do it here." And then just let it sit. And they will write you back. They will let you know if they aren't comfortable with that, or they might just send you back and be like, "Oh, and I need your mailing address." Or they might just send you the information. You don't know, right? If they say, "No, you know, I'd rather do it." Sure, no problem. Here's my link, right? But be very like uppity about it. Like, sure, no problem. Like, you don't want to be like, no, I can do it, because that's going to make them think you're scamming them, right? I have had so many people give me their credit card information as well as their banking information even, and they don't know me. And it's because I am trustworthy. I come off as a trustworthy person, and I know that you guys in my group are trustworthy. I would hope that if I do put this on YouTube, that anybody else is trustworthy. If I find out that people are scamming just because of this, I would be so mad at people, because that is not okay. You don't know how hard people work for their money. I don't care if that person's making $1 million. For all you know, they could have sacrificed everything to make that. You don't know how hard people are working. So you should never, ever take advantage of anybody. But I do suggest that, because it is a good way to get people out of their heads. Because I'm not going to lie, I have gone to buy things and been like, you know what, I don't want to pay that shipping. I'm just not going to order. Or, do I really need a $20 oil right now? Do I? Maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, I talked myself out of it. But if I've already given my information, I'm going to get the oil and I'm going to use it, right? So if they've gone quiet in the conversation and you've let it sit for a couple of days, don't nag people. If you want to strike up the conversation again, add them to your calendar in a couple of days, and then write her and say, "Hi, Vanessa, have you had another chance to think about," put your product in there. "I'm processing some orders tonight and thought about you." Remind them of the price, and if they, I got written here. If they come back that they're still unsure, ask them if they would like to see some before and after photos or a recommendation from somebody. So let me go back over that. So let's say it was the Lean Body System. I would be like, "Hey, Vanessa, have you had another chance to take a look at the Lean Body System? I'm processing some orders tonight and I thought about you. It's $159.99. You get 3 amazing products. Let me know." You know what I mean? So if they come back to you and say, "No, thank you, not at this time," move on. Write them down for a couple of months later. I have a potential customers list, you know, and when you write them back, then don't mention the product right away. Be like, "Hey, how are you?" Don't be like, have you thought about that product yet? Product. Do you want to buy? Do you want to buy from me? Don't do that. So then if they come back and they say, "You know what, I'm not sure," right? Like, "Well, what are you unsure about? Are you know, let me send you some before or afters. Let me send you some pictures of other people using it. you know, if it's a purse or something. Let me send you a recommendation I have from somebody. I always try to collect recommendations about products from people. I keep them kind of in my screenshots. I Snapchat what they what they wrote, but whatever, we're moving on. And I keep it so that I can pass those on. Ask for questions, you know, ask for verification, like what is making you unsure? If it's a lean body system, be like, is it the price that's making you leery? Are you worried that you're not going to lose the weight? I mean, depending on the company, with my company, our big systems have money back guarantees, because if it is the price, you can be like, just so you know, if you don't lose any weight, it's a money back guarantee. So if you're really ready to invest in yourself, then this is a sure way system to do it. Or, you know, if it's a purse, be like, you deserve to reward yourself. Mother's Day is coming up. Grab yourself something. Tell your husband or whoever that's what you bought. You know what I mean? Get them to pay for it. You know, like little things like that. If it's makeup, similar thing. You deserve to reward yourself with clean living. You deserve to reward yourself with beauty. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have a hard time spending money on themselves, and you need to handle your self-worth and mental being first. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So it's okay to remind them of that. If they don't write back, move on. You can still write them down, but do not mention your product to them again. Let them mention it or comment on something. Always write them and be like, hey, how are you? I write people all the time, how are you? If you're on my Facebook, the first thing I do is get to know people. I don't want anybody on my Facebook who I don't get to know. Too tired to keep a system, like keep track of everybody. So, because I don't leave messages in my inbox, I try to answer everybody. So there are people who are slipping through the cracks who haven't wrote back, but I would say a good percentage, at least 60% of the people on my Facebook, have answered me, and I know what they do for a living. I know if they have kids, stuff like that. It's about making them, oh yeah. Okay, that's what I thought I was going to say. It's about making them feel like they need you. You know, that you are valuable to the business, because I know a lot of companies, there's so much competition that you have to stand out. And if you can stand out by providing the best customer service, so if you can stand out by being very knowledgeable about your products or walking them through the system or doing screenshots, that is very easy. Go create a fake account, a customer account, an email with another email address, and screenshot the steps of how to apply, or even create an order as a potential customer so that you can walk them through it. And I find that, and if you're really good with being a good customer service, then they tend to come back to you. I've had people come to me to order from me in my new business specifically because they saw that I sold it and they knew that I would handle them better. Literally, a girl said, I had a girl who sold, and she never wrote me, so I thought I'd order from you. And I'm like, that's great. You know, I'll write you. I'm trying not to drive you nuts, but I'll write you. Oh, yes. Did you guys know that you can set messenger plans? So you can set times to write them back. Let them know, because they can see it as well. So if you discuss a product and they're not sure, or they're like, well, we'll do it at payday, I'll be like, okay, I'll mark it down and I'll get back to you. And then you set a messenger plan, and you can write a time in a day. I put the time that I'm not working, because I work outside of the house a lot. And I put that time, and it'll pop back up in your messenger and be like, reminder. So you got to remember why you said it, but you can, I archive all of my messages so that when they pop up, I can see everything. Learned that the hard way. Used to delete everything because I like a very clean inbox. And then I couldn't remember what the heck I had said to anybody. And I was constantly asking the same people the same things if they wanted to buy a product when I was with my other companies. So you can set reminders that way, and it'll pop up instead of you setting them in your phone. I think that's a great way. You know, say that you'll pencil them in for whatever time, and then you'll have a chat. So be like, that's great, Sarah. I'm going to get back to you in 2 weeks, and we'll have a chat then. And then you set the plan for 2 weeks. and then they know, okay, she's not just some crazy person. If it's somebody that you haven't had that chat with, write it down in a calendar so that they can't see it. If you've had the chat, and it's very simple if they're like, I'm not sure, or that's great, thanks for the info. You can always be like, that's great, I'll check in with you in 3 weeks. And you can always set the plan because you've already told them. So, and if they delete you or block you, they weren't going to buy from you anyway, right? So no skin off your back. Yeah, that's the other thing. My last point was, if not, then use your calendar, because you don't want to set the reminder if you haven't told them, because that's awkward as heck when they haven't wrote you back at all, and you're like, oh, reminder, I'll be back. You know, don't do that. Follow-ups are very important in customer service. They shouldn't be any longer than 2 weeks, because within the 2 weeks, they're gonna get their products and try them. If you can, sending a catalog is a great idea for follow-ups. I try to drop my catalog because mine is thick and it costs a lot. I try to drop them at big locations. So my mom took one to her work and I took one to my work, and I put my information on the back. If you have catalogs that you get all the time, or if they're thin, you might be able to mail them. So if you get a new catalog in, you can take all your customers and mail them a new catalog. Create a contact list. So I have my customers, thankfully they're listed for me in my company's back office. So I have my customers, and if I have a deal or if there's a new product coming out, I message everybody. So I do this for my group that I have. I will message everybody if I have a deal and be like, hey, just so you know, and that's up to them. They can take it, they can leave it, right? So I contact everybody. Don't be pushy, be friendly. So don't instantly, okay, this one's a hard one, because when you have customers, you don't want to always bug them about products. So it's hard because you're so busy that it's hard to remember to message people and just ask them how they're doing. And then you don't want to be like, hey, how are you? And they're like, I'm great. And then you're like, I got a product. Like, you know what I mean? Some people, that might be your relationship, that you only message them about products, but it is hard. And I noticed lately I was doing that. It was coming a little spammy. Every time I wrote them, it was about a product. So even when I was doing that, I try to have a conversation after. So if they're not interested, I go, oh, yeah, that's no problem. So how is things going? How is life? How is Bobby? How is the baby? You know what I mean? Like, you have to be real with these people. But even in real life, if my mom bought for me and whatever she bought for me was going on sale, I'm going to bug her and be like, hey, mom, it's on sale. So it's really hard. But I would say if you're doing everything and you're not selling and you're not advancing, then you need to look into something different. If you love what you do, that's great. Don't forget, whatever effort you put out is the effort you're going to get back. If you're only putting out the effort as a part-time job, you are only going to get back a part-time pay. It's just that simple. I know many top earners, and they work this business insane. You know, they can't spend time with their kids, their spouse, because they're busy working. And that's what you have to decide. And you have to be happy with that. If you are doing everything that you can do, it just might not be the right company. Or maybe you might want to keep it because you love it and pick something else if this is what you want your career to be. And it's harsh, but it is true. You need to be very aware of compensation plans. It's so hard. See, I just want to pitch to you guys, because the company that I'm in, you literally don't have to recruit to advance. We have 2 compensation plans where you recruit based on selling, and you recruit based on, or you advance based on selling, you advance based on recruiting, and you can do either to earn money. And I just find that whole, you need to sell this much and have people who sell this much to advance is hard. Is so hard, you know? So you have to be real with yourself. You know, my love was makeup, and I wanted to stay in a makeup company, and I realized that if I did, I wasn't going to make any money because my market wasn't makeup. Like my market on my Facebook, they just weren't interested in the makeup, right? So that was something I had to become comfortable with. So you have to be realistic. If this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, find the products that work, but find that comp plan that works as well. So that is all I have for you guys. So that was more following up and closing this sale than selling. But honestly, you know, if you're posting and you're branded and your posture's where it needs to be and your friends list is where it needs to be and you're going live, you know, and your goals are good and you're doing your income producing activities and you're doing your attraction marketing, then you should be selling. And if you're not selling, then you need to sit down and think about if this is the company that you want it to be. So next week we will be talking about prospects, and that will be the end of this group because we've completed the training plan. And it's been crazy because I started this before Christmas, and you know, we've all been a little slacking, and I got to tag you guys in the last video, but it's neat. It's neat because it's, you know, it's like it's coming to an end. But I will be opening just a general account to continue doing these types of things on not such a structural basis. I find that I'm a very whimsical person and I like my lists, but to do this for free, you know, on the side, it needs to be a little bit more, you know, fluctuating. But I hope you guys are getting value from this. You know, if you have anything that you'd want to talk about, please message me. You should all be on my friends list anyway. YouTube, this isn't for you. This would be for Facebook. Yeah, message me and we will chat. YouTube, you can leave comments and we can get in touch through Facebook or something. So thank you guys for watching me. I really hope you're getting value and I love you guys. See you later.